We've got a $50 donation from Theanson0, who says, had to donate during Donkey Kong Country 3. I grew up playing the Donkey Kong Country series with my mom, but we never really played the third. Have to play through it someday. Keep up the good work. We have a $50 donation from Barba that says, Doom, 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 doom. Doom? Maybe. Also, we are now just $1,100 even away from singing Part of Your World during the Little Mermaid run. And I think we're just about ready to head on over to Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
All right, so we have Chippendale 2 here, lesser known later NES game. And so go ahead and count us down.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so this game has a lot of interesting features to it. You can throw diagonally, which was not in the first one from what I understand. And you get a lot of iframes on enemies, which are bosses, that you get to take a lot of advantage of throughout this run. So for the first stage, you're in a kitchen, and we get to fight a water pump boss. And I don't remember what the canonical name of this boss is. Enemy, do you remember that?
All I can come up with right now is Water Rabbit. I don't
Water
think
Rabbit,
that's it.
that's it.
Is it really?
That's it. It's that creative.
Really creative. I went to lunch early that day.
It's a great development team for the name squad. But the game itself is super tight. So you'll notice that I'm dodging these RR tokens, and there's a countdown at the end of each stage where it actually takes 4 frames to count down for each coin that you get. And Monterey Jack here is a screen that we can't skip, so it's nice and slow, but it fills your health up, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, definitely important before this fight, because this is a very RNG-based boss. Well, the first of many, really.
That's right.
So, Game of the Week's really going to be looking to pick up those boxes, and what he did is he did a charged throw there. You could see the box kind of flashing and wobbling. That actually deals 2 damage instead of just 1.
Oh.
It's tough to get, though. You have to, I believe you have to hold in a certain direction for 20 frames. And there's not a lot of maneuverability in here. Nice job.
Nice.
Yep. And you'll notice that the box was charged at first, and as you start to fall, it uncharges. So you actually have to hold that button.
Yeah, and you can actually do a turnaround, but it is frame perfect. So you literally would have to just be holding left 1 frame and then turn right the very next frame. So that's pretty tough to do and not really needed too many times in the run.
All right. And so now we're in a sewer, which is nice after being in the kitchen. All right.
So the sewer stage, the boss of this stage also is going to be one where there's no boxes just readily available. He's actually going to be kind of kicking these rocks at you, and you have to use those as your weapon against him.
Yeah, the wind physics here is a little hard to get used to, but once you get used to it, it's actually not too bad. Almost impossible before that, though.
And you have a pretty clever strategy for dealing with this that not a lot of people do.
Yeah, so you'll see in like the world record run, they're jumping up to get the second box to fly high, but then they have to fight the wind in order to pick the box back up, which I don't particularly care for, and it's also a little bit more risky.
Nice.
Thank you, thank you. All right.
So you'll notice there's 1-ups in between stages. That's not really critical for a 1-player run. Damage boosting is pretty nice in this game as well. You'll see game taking advantage of that in certain spots. But you do have to be careful because the bosses are a little tougher in this game, so you don't want to have too little health when you go into a boss fight.
Yeah, and you've only got 2 spare hits for your health, with very few health pickups throughout this game.
Yeah, Monterey Jack only comes along a few times.
It's true, and you'll find the occasional acorn hidden in a box, but we're going to try not to do that.
So for this boss, there are going to be boxes. It's actually going to be a kind of an auto-scroller. It's going to be scrolling up, and the box locations are fixed pretty much. So you'll see Game grabbing them, and then he was able to get the double hit there. So if he can get 3 double hits in a row, then he'll be able to take the boss out. It's really tough to do, though. The platform is only long enough for you to charge up the box. Like, you have to throw it really, really late.
Oof.
Tough boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the tougher boss fights because you can die by falling down and just by damage, so it's a really, really tricky one. Nice. There we go.
There it is.
Nice.
And that's your only no-token stage. And so now we're going to be in a freezer. We've got 3 minutes to get out of here, and so hopefully we make it.
It's plenty of time. This is my favorite stage though, just because it does have ice physics, but you can do it pretty quickly, and it has an in-game timer, so you can actually like try to get a really fast time. All right, nice climb.
Just walk right over that one, jump into this one.
Well done.
That's it.
2:30. That's a good time.
Not bad at all.
Only stage with no boss, right?
Yes, only
Yep.
stage with no boss. And the next boss we face is actually a favorite.
It's the best boss. No RNG whatsoever.
None.
Not even a little bit.
None, and it's not painful even a little bit, so not too bad. But this happens to be the ghost boss at the end of this stage. His RNG is the difference between maybe a couple of 30 seconds or so if you get great RNG, and then maybe 2 minutes if not. So let's hope he's kind to us today.
Yeah, he's one of the bosses that has to provide you with the weapon that you'll use against him. So you're gonna have to hope that he will drop these stone balls that you can throw at him. And if not, he just kind of shoots this lightning at you, and that's just basically a waste of a phase. So,
It
like
is,
that.
and it's not hard to dodge, but it's time-wise, it's pretty painful.
So he can either drop 1 or 2 balls if he is dropping the item for you to hit him with, but you have to have the ball off screen, otherwise, as you saw there, it will not land.
Yeah, even after it hits the ghost, it has to get off the screen before the second ball will stop on the screen.
Yeah, so there are some patterns that are favorable enough where you might be able to get 2 of the balls to use against him, but
Right.
I think it's only one pattern that you can do that.
Yeah, the
and
slower pattern.
Clearly, we're not getting it right now.
Not right now. We can dance.
Not yet, not yet.
I mean,
It's coming. This is the one. I feel it.
I hope you're right. There we are. Let's get him to drop.
Oh, he didn't give
He's
me
not
the
Yeah,
gonna drop.
delayed. Oh, close.
Yeah, so if he had dropped a little bit earlier there, he would have been able to throw the first one and then pick up the second one. Oh, this could be it.
Give me.
Oh, man.
The D-pad betrayed you.
The D-pad has never really been my friend. Let's. No. Let's see.
All right, well, that's good. Yeah, as long as you don't get the lightning, then it's pretty good. But
Well, and he takes 7 hits,
Right, yeah.
so we are getting ever closer.
yeah, the bosses kind of ramp up how many hits they take as you get through the game.
Yeah, so the ghost here is your introduction to them taking a few more. The next 3 bosses for, as you'll see, the theme park will be 8 hits each. I'm not going to mess with that.
Yeah, that was not really in the best position.
Nice.
All right.
All right, he was not too unkind. As this cutscene, we don't have much choice to go fast. Now would actually be a good time for donation reading if that's a thing you'd like to do.
Awesome. I love doing that. And that's great because we have an $1,100 donation from Carl247.
All right.
Wow, Carl. Yeah. Wonderful.
Carl says, "Sing, baby, sing," and that takes care of that donation incentive, so there will be singing.
Oh, that is beautiful. We got Enemy coming up here soon with a run with the good ending donation incentive, which is fantastic. A lot of good content in that game.
So Clock Tower is a very vertical stage, which is something that they changed from Part 1. They added a lot more vertical portions and stages for this game, which I actually like a lot. I think it's a nice change.
It is. It's an interesting change of pace from the side-scrolling. And this is Henri Ostrich.
And this is one of the lesser RNG bosses in this game, right?
Yeah, well, he's got RNG, like you saw him run across the screen, but his RNG is at least not very painful. It's pretty quick. So he's somewhat of a non-factor. But you see me taking advantage of being able to walk through him during his iframes. This is one of the best bosses for that.
Yeah, and those little gears that he shoots out, you can either get a short, medium, or long pattern, which, you know, some of them are more helpful than others, but ultimately, like Game said, you know, no matter what, he's probably one of the easier bosses, I would say. He just doesn't give you too much of a hard time like some of the others do.
Yeah, and that stage is actually pretty nice too, so you can always get in there with a little bit of extra health for just any kind of small issues you might have with them throwing the additional cogs after the one lands. And so now we're off to Western World for everyone's favorite minecarts.
So in one player, these are not very difficult, but in 2-player, they really didn't playtest this minecart section very well, so strange things happen. But fortunately, we don't have to worry about that. You just got to dodge these falling boulders and make sure you jump off the cart before it goes in the pit.
Yep, now we've got some swinging wrecking balls. Nice little change of pace, but you can go right through them.
Yeah, not too dangerous. The boss of the stage, however, is a pretty dangerous boss. He can kind of move all over the screen. There's some platforms that he's going to be jumping up and down on, and then he throws these cards at you, which that's the weapon that you have to use against him. So another very RNG heavy boss.
Absolutely. And he can be kind of painful when he's dancing around and actually walking quite a bit. But the creative team strikes again with Card Cat.
But you have a better name for him.
I have lovingly renamed him the Mad Catter.
Nice.
And he's being a little bit rude today.
A little bit. I mean, thankfully you can do those directional throws, though. If not, this fight would take even a whole lot longer, I think.
Oh yeah, because he likes to get vertical when you throw straight.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Nice. That was a really nice fight.
that was pretty quick. All right, and so now we have Future World, which we have a lot of interesting tech for. On the screen, not necessarily the technique. E-boost for this guy, but you have to wait right here, which I'm not happy with. The 2-player run, I believe, is a little bit different than that.
Yeah, you can skip certain sections by death abusing in the 2-player run. If one of the guys dies, then you get a balloon, so you can kind of just fly past stuff. But yeah, Future World is a stage that definitely showcases how nice the graphics were. For again, this is a game that came out pretty late in the NES life cycle, so not a lot of people played it, but definitely really nice graphics.
Yeah, it came out in '93. It says on the credit screen, and we've got a lizard driving I assume, like a wind-up Tonka truck here.
So this guy's pretty tricky. The wheels that are closer to you actually cannot damage you, but the wheels that are in the back are the ones you got to watch out for. And this guy's really, really dangerous.
Well, he's very agile. He'll change directions on you pretty quickly. Just not fun. But when he winds up and he gets all the way to the back of the screen, you'll see him charge forward, and that's the exact same every time. So if you get down to 1 health and you don't want to risk it, wait for him to do that.
Yeah, and unfortunately this guy has like no real pattern or anything that he follows. And you cannot jump and throw those. Like if the spike ball were to drop, that chain would actually block the items that you're throwing at him. So you do have to kind of get right in his face.
Yeah, and you can get behind the chain and ball and jump and throw, but that's a much, much tighter and difficult thing to pull off.
Yeah, that's probably even riskier. Nicely done.
There it is.
Which is our second to last boss. So now we're adventuring into Fat Cat to try and defeat him. Save the day.
Yeah, of course he was behind this all along.
That pesky Fat Cat.
So yeah, this stage features these little gears that you kind of have to hit to change the direction of those things that are rotating. Otherwise, it just slows you down a whole lot. The conveyor belts.
Yeah, and they'll be working against you, so you kind of have to hop them. This screen, there's a lot of ways to get through this screen, and you kind of have to figure out what you feel comfortable with and where you want to damage boost, and effectively you're choosing where you want to take damage rather than not taking it. But then you get a health refill, so that's kind of nice.
Thankfully, because one of the rooms coming up is probably the hardest room in the game, I would say. There's a room with these things that shoots these green balls. Really tough to get through there.
It is, and the technique here is to take two damage, all of your free hits, right before you get to that
Yeah,
room
before
with
you get to
green
the
balls.
hardest room.
It's nice. It's a very kind strategy.
Oh,
So there's only one green ball that can stay on the screen at one time, and so if by any chance one lasts a little too long, you're stuck taking. I forgot I had health. This is beautiful. So if you have a green ball that happens to go in a weird way, or you're just a fraction of a second off, the rate of fire is completely changed, which is a little bit painful. So Fat Cat decided after the first game he didn't want to fight anymore, so he built a mechanical Fat Cat to fight for him.
Yeah, Mecha Fat Cat is a pretty long fight. It's pretty annoying because the only way you have to hit him is these bombs that he's gonna drop. And sometimes if you can get the positioning right, he'll actually just land on his own bomb and take damage. But otherwise, you got to pick him up and time a throw to hit him just as it's exploding. So it's a little bit of a tight window. Nice.
And so the Mecha Fat Cat takes 10 hits. After 5, he'll actually change forms. He explodes a little bit, which creates quite a bit of lag.
And it's really important not to miss cycles because obviously you can see how long each cycle takes.
Yeah, and they're a good 15, 20 seconds apiece.
And so far he has not been giving very good luck at all.
So he's got 3 main attacks, but he'll only attack if he's at the far right of the screen. So what you saw there, the first strike was his fast hand. He has a mace ball on his other hand. And then he also will shoot electricity through the floor and try to shock you with his tail, which is kind of an interesting design.
I believe he takes 10 hits to defeat, actually.
Yeah, 10. That's correct.
Yeah, 5 person. Oh, no.
Gonna have to rematch him.
GG run.
Well, hopefully this time he'll land on some of his own bombs.
That's
instead,
right.
Maybe.
Because he did that 0 times so far.
Well, that's actually something I wanted to demonstrate, which I thought was a shoe-in to happen. Like this.
There we go.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah, now he'll probably just do it every single time.
Yeah. Starting over. It's a free hit. You don't have to pick it up if it's in the right place.
Yeah, maybe he'll just do that like 10 times in a row. I've seen it happen before, believe it or not. Up. So yeah, in the first Rescue Rangers game, you'd only have to hit bosses 3 times, but they decided to make it a little more difficult in this version.
That fast hand is tricky.
Yeah, the fast hand is probably the toughest attack to deal with.
Well, and when you're far away from him on the screen, if you let the bomb tick down to 1, immediately jump, and throw at the peak of your jump, it hits him just about every time. It's a pretty easy timing that way. But when he's in position to attack, if that fast hand comes out, you're landing right on it.
Right. So we're halfway through the fight now. As you can see, kind of had that little explosion animation.
And he's going to hit himself again.
There we go.
This is a good one.
Beautiful.
Now we're getting a little bit of good luck.
All right, so we got 6 hits. I know there's so much lag that that situation I talked about where the timing you'll fall right on his fast hand if he shoots it is actually no longer true. The lag delays his attack a little bit more and takes him out of sync with that. So now we have, I think, 8 hits. Now we're on 9, so I think get ready on time. With this fight, I mean, it's thrilling, it's riveting.
Oh, nice free last hit.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is beautiful.
He just couldn't take it anymore.
He's apologizing. Time.
But wait, there's more.
Oh yes, no.
Yeah.
The most important part of the game is after everything is done.
There's a long countdown.
Oh yeah. A bonus game, because why would you need more lives? All right, and that's Chippendale Rescue Rangers 2 for the NES.
All right.
Nice, good job.